I am 82 years old, and today I am going to tell you a secret that I have kept buried in my heart for 50 years. It belonged to my late husband, and I learned it the day he took his last breath in my arms. My name is Ines. I live in a small fishing town in Portugal, where the waves of the sea crash against my window every morning. I have lived here my whole life. My father was a fisherman, and my mother made nets at home to support the family. We were poor, but happy. When I was 20, I married a young fisherman named Rodrigo. He was a quiet man, but his eyes had a strange depth, as if he were carrying a heavy burden. I never asked, and he never told me. The early years of our marriage were filled with love. We had 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter. But one thing always bothered me. Every year in the month of August, Rodrigo would disappear for 3 days. No explanation, no letter. When he returned, his eyes were red as if he had been crying. I asked him many times, "Where are you going?" But he would only say, "Anish, there are some things that should remain buried." The years passed. The children grew up, got married, settled down. Our eldest son, Miguel, went to Lisbon to look for work. The daughter, Sofia, went to live with her husband in Porto. Only the youngest son, Antonio, was close to us. Rodrigo and I were getting older. Our love did not change, but that August secret always stood between us like a wall. One night, as we were both sitting on the beach, I asked for the last time, "Rodrigo, it's been 50 years. Will you ever tell me?" He took my hand and said softly, "When the time comes, Anish, when the time comes, you will know everything." I had no idea that time would come so soon, and that secret would change the course of my entire life. Then came the day I will never forget. Rodrigo was 86 years old, and his heart was failing. The doctor had said he didn't have long. One cold afternoon, he was lying in bed at our house, and I was holding his hand. His breathing was slowing. He looked at me and said in a very weak voice, "Anish, it's time. Forgive me." I said, "Forgive me for what, Rodrigo? You've never been unfaithful to me. I know that." He shook his head. "No, it's not unfaithfulness. It's deeper than that." Then he told me that before he got married, when he was only 18, he had a crush, a girl named Clara. She had become pregnant, but their families wouldn't allow the marriage because Clara's family was very poor and Rodrigo's father wanted him to marry into a better family. Clara gave birth to a son and left him in an orphanage in Lisbon because she could not raise him alone. Rodrigo found out much later, after I had married him and our first child was born. "That son," Rodrigo said, tears streaming down his wrinkled cheeks, "is the one I used to visit every August. His name is João. I never told him who his father was. I just helped him as a family friend, paid for his education, wrote letters." I listened, speechless. 50 years of marriage, and this secret was so big. "And Clara?" I asked. "She died many years ago. João still doesn't know that I am his father. He always called me Senor Rodrigo." His eyes remained fixed on me. "Anish, I want you to meet him. I want our children to meet him. He is our blood. Before I die, I want this secret to end." That night, Rodrigo passed away in my arms with a secret that was now mine alone and a new burden that had fallen on my shoulders. The days after the funeral passed in a blur. I decided that I would tell my children the truth no matter how hard it was. I called Miguel, Sofia, and Antonio home. When I told them everything, the silence in the room was deafening. Miguel spoke first, filled with anger. "Are you saying that our father had another son? For 50 years he kept this secret?" He shook his head. "I don't know how I should look at my father now." Sofia was crying. "I don't want to hate João, Mom, but it's so hard. We've never heard his name, and now we're being told that he's our brother." Only Antonio was calm. "Mom, Dad helped him, didn't abandon him. Maybe we should understand that it was a form of love, even if it was expressed in the wrong way." I spent many sleepless nights wondering if I should contact João. Finally, I decided to go to Lisbon. I found the address in Rodrigo's old letters and arrived at his door without being told. A 60-year-old man opened the door. His eyes were like Rodrigo's, the same depth, the same sadness. "Who are you?" he asked. "My name is Inez. I am the wife of Rodrigo Carmelo." His face turned white. "Senor Rodrigo died?" "Yes, 3 weeks ago." I took a deep breath. João, you have to sit down. I have to tell you something that will change your life. When I told him the truth, that Rodrigo was not just a family friend, but his real father, the man who was 60 years old, cried like a child. I always wondered why they loved me so much. I never dared to ask. I held his hand. He loved you, João, very much, and before he died, he said he wanted our family to be complete. In that moment, I decided that I would convince my children to meet João, no matter how hard it was. After returning from Lisbon, I reunited my three children. I told them that I had met João and that he was a good and gentle man who had lived his whole life without a father's love. He doesn't ask for anything from us, I said. He just wants to know that he has a family. Miguel was silent for a few days. Then one evening he called, Mom, I've been thinking. Dad made a mistake, but he never left him alone. Maybe we should do the same. A month later, I held a small party at my house. Sofia, Miguel, Antonio, and their children, and João, with his wife and two children. When João came to the door, everyone stood silently, looking at each other. Then Antonio stepped forward and hugged João. Welcome, brother. Every eye in the room moistened at that. We're sorry it took us so long, Sofia said softly. Miguel shook hands and said, Our father may have made mistakes, but you're not his fault. You're his gift, which we've been waiting too long to open. That night, we all ate together, looked at old photos, and told stories about Rodrigo. João told me that Rodrigo came to visit him every year, paid for his education, but never revealed his name. He used to say, I want you to succeed through your own hard work, not because of my name. Rodrigo had made a mistake, I thought, but he spent his whole life making up for it, silently, without expecting anything in return. Perhaps that's the deepest form of love, the sacrifices that no one sees. Today, when I look out the window of my house at the ocean, my family feels complete. João comes with us every August, places flowers on his father's grave, and then has dinner with us. The secret that kept us apart for 50 years has now become the strongest link that connects us. I have learned this from life. Secrets isolate us, but the truth, no matter how late it comes, can unite us. Forgiveness is never too late. Love is not always expressed in words. Sometimes it is hidden in silent sacrifices. And family is not what is made of blood, but what is made of open acceptance. This is the story of my life, and this is the lesson I want to leave behind. If you've read this story to the end, I want you to stop and think for a moment. We learn from this story that secrets can tear a person apart, but the truth, even if it's revealed after 50 years, has the power to mend relationships. We also learn that forgiveness has no expiration date. It's never too late to forgive someone you've hurt. And above all, we learn that family is not just blood ties, but a heart that's open to embracing someone. If this story touched your heart, if you saw a glimpse of someone you love in Rodrigo's silent love, then be sure to tell us in the comments below. And if you like to hear true emotional stories like this, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that each of our new stories reaches you. See you in the next story with another life, another truth, and another lesson.